Dungeons of Akazarn is an isometric tactics game where the player recruits and outfits characters in town and then engages in turn-based combat against enemy characters. The issue this game sought to address is a lack of gameplay that plagues the genre by introducing skill-based minigames that alter the outcomes of battle based on the player's performance. Hello, I'm Javier Perez, and I was the team lead, designed, and programmed Dungeons of Akazarn. Now, a major focus with this project was creating APIs and modular systems so additional content can be easily made in the future.
Hi, my name is Augie, and I was responsible for the UI in the game along with the town section of the game. This includes the pixel art assets that you see in the town along with the menus.
Hi, my name is Dylan Hayes. Some of the main things I worked on in our capstone project are the pathfinding for the enemy AI, the music, and both the main menu and settings menu. I also worked on a lot of smaller features such as pausing, camera movement, and a minigame for one of our game's classes.
Hi, my name is Patricia Azevedo, and for this project I was in charge of creating all of the original sprite assets, excluding the town interface and background. Additionally, I recorded, edited, and implemented with code all of the Foley sounds for things such as the character movement and for the combat interface.
In town, the player can recruit characters from one of 6 class archetypes, like mages and archers. They can then outfit them with equipment bought in the store that will alter their stats, and then they can also teach them abilities that deal damage or support friendly units. Once the player is ready, they can select up to 5 characters and select a dungeon to explore to engage in combat and receive rewards. During the combat portion of the game, the user will place characters in the starting highlighted zone, and when ready, they can proceed to turn-based combat. Characters get their turn based on their speed stat, and characters have the option to move, attack, or wait for their next turn. A minigame will begin when the player attacks or uses an ability, and the result of the minigame will augment the outcome of the action, like a cleric healing additional health if the player gets a perfect in the minigame. Utility AI is used for enemy characters, which utilizes weights to determine the likelihood of actions that the AI will take. Combat is finished when either side loses all characters, and then the player will be returned to town afterwards. This project was a lot of firsts for me, from planning and coding how all these self-contained modular systems will communicate, to learning and coding utility AI, and planning out how everything would integrate with each other. I ended up using a drawing program to draft and design everything in the game, which again was another first for me, but man, I had a lot of fun working on this project.
One of the biggest challenges I ran into while working on our project was creating the pathfinding to be used by our enemy AI. Pathfinding is not a trivial task, especially when dealing with the isometric perspective that we use in our game. When I got stuck, such as figuring out how to best get the neighbors of tiles, I was able to reach out and collaborate with my other group members and advisor to find a solution. Through situations like these, I was able to learn how to work better in a group, especially when dealing with a project this large.
When it came to programming the UI elements for the game, one of the main challenges I faced was finding a way to keep my code organized so that I could easily reuse it later for the other UI elements of the game. In the end, I definitely learned a lot about code design and how to accomplish certain tasks by using things like events and scriptable objects.
One of the challenges that I'm sure many digital creators discovers is that creating digital assets that are useful to people while coding requires that the person creating the assets understands what it is exactly that the coder needs. Sometimes if you take off with whatever you think is best or anything works type statements, you'll come back with assets that people just can't use, which is frustrating for everyone involved. Figuring this out, especially with all of us working online, has really helped me build my communication skills, teaching me to ask the right questions of people that I'm working with and to do my best to work off of clear instructions even while we're all working remotely.